rated an M. For mature.
Video games have been both praised and condemned for the level of realism and freedom they bring to their users. Whether it be Super Mario or Grand Theft Auto, games have always been criticized for their impact on real-life events. Recently, violent video games have come under attack from parents, news analysts, and other medias for having a negative impact on society's actions. They have been linked to crimes and other violent instances throughout the world, but are they fully to blame?
I was working in Future Shop during the summer, and there was quite a few games like Splinter Cell Blacklist or even Saints Row 4 that have M ratings or have like R ratings on them. And a little 14-year-old boy came up to the desk and said he wanted to buy it. I said, "How old are you?" And he said, 14. And I'm like, "I can't sell this to you." And then he just went to his mom, and his mom goes, "Oh, what's wrong with him?" Like, there's nudity, sexual violence, and then there's like actual violence in the game. She goes, "Oh, that's fine. He's just going to get it through another medium anyway." I'm like, okay. So there's lots of time. There's restrictions on games for a reason, but parents are the reason why these little kids are getting the games. It's not because they're getting them from any other medium or any other medium.
So you think parents have toned down?
Parents are just oblivious, and they just will do whatever they want and let the kids do whatever they want and then complain about it later.
I guess it was the third day GTA came out. There was this 15-year-old kid, and he was with his mom, and I went to explain, why she was there, and I was like, okay, I grabbed it off the shelf, and then I proceeded to explain the M rating to her, and the kid was just like, "Shut up! She doesn't need to know this! Shut up! Don't tell her anything!" And then she turned to him and was like, "Just shut up." She's like, "I'm just gonna buy the game for him, whatever." I was like, all right, but that was even before I got to the torture part in the game. I had just gotten so far into it.
The ESRB, or the Entertainment Software Rating Board, was established in 1994 in response to enhanced graphics which made blood, nudity, and gore more prevalent. Since then, every game title has been given one of the following ratings: EC for early childhood, E for everyone, E10 plus for everyone 10 and up, and T for teen. The restricted ratings are M for mature, meaning that only people 17 and older can rent and buy these games, and AO for adults only 18 plus.
Hi, I'm Chris Licio. I am a student at the Durham College Game Development Program.
Are the ESRB ratings too relaxed or too strict?
The ESRB ratings have been pretty relaxed in the sense of how much they enforce that rating, but ever since they've been invented, they've pretty much been everything you've needed to get about most things about games generally. So if anything, they're not relaxed, but they don't do enough stuff behind the ESRB to make sure that they actually mean what they mean.
Although this rating system has been implemented, the ESRB has been criticized for not rating games harshly enough. A notable example was the release of Mortal Kombat, which was thought deserved an AO rating.
Do you think games are getting more violent?
No.
No, they're just as violent as they used to be, except for they're just more realistic now. Like, you could have played, there's a game called Splatterhouse from 1995, I think, where it's just a 2D action platformer, but you're able to cut people's heads off and cut people's arms off in a 2D environment. When that game came out 4 or 5 years ago, it's literally the exact same, except for it's just a 3D world.
Yeah, that's just the graphic. The graphics get better so that you can see what you're doing better, but you're doing all the exact same stuff you were 20 years ago.
However, if violent video games are taking this much heat on their impact on society, what about violent movies?
My name is Jack Bailey. I'm a supervisor at Empire Theaters in Whitby. I believe violent movies do impact society just as much as video games, because you see something on a movie such as, let's say, Jackass or anything like that, and kids automatically want to imitate it, just like any other video game where they see a cool action scene or anything like that. Call of Duty, they want to, get their hands on some guns and everything like that. It's the same with movies. They see something and they just automatically want to try it. It especially affects younger kids, very impressionable people.
In your opinion, do you think violent movies impact society just as much as the violent games?
Absolutely. they had, it's the same medium, it's the same general idea. When you're watching a movie, there's people that will watch movies and become engrossed in those stories, engrossed in those characters. And they're kind of like, well, this guy's amazing, I want to live up to this person. Same thing that goes with video games. When you're playing GTA, I haven't played GTA, but I know Trevor is a little insane. And guaranteed, if I play GTA, I wouldn't care about any of the other characters. All I'd want to do is spend all my time with Trevor and run around in a dress and just beat the shit out of people. It's what I would want to do in that game because it's fun. And the same thing goes with watching movies. If people like watching horror flicks, they're in there because they want to watch the gore, they want to watch they want to watch the killing, or if people want to go see romantic movies, they want to watch the love story. It's all being engrossed in this.
I would even say that the video games are even less so, because like movies, they show the violence, but then you also get to act out in like a fantasy world and just, you know, release whatever tension you may have, where a movie can get you emotionally riled up, and then after the movie you're like, fuck, I'm angry about this and I'm gonna go home and play video games because that's how I relax, you know?
What kind of movies seem to draw the biggest crowds?
Definitely, I'd say any very dark, bloody action movies, anything that has a lot of violence in it, some very immature comedy as well, will always bring the largest crowds anytime.
Violent video games and movies have always come under attack for their impact on society and especially on youths. This level of criticism has reached a new high with the release of games such as Grand Theft Auto V and the Call of Duty series. It is unlikely that this debate will gain traction for either side, as there is no discernible proof for one side or the other. The fact is, violent video games and movies sell, and they are here to stay.